Hey guys, welcome back to Dish Upon a Star. And I know normally we do this on the AfterBuzz TV YouTube channel, but we're doing something very special today. Today's guest I'm going to be interviewing is Miss Giovonnie Samuels, and I cannot express how excited I am that she will be joining us today. I am such a huge fan. I've loved her ever since All That, Bring It On, All or Nothing. Come on, Freedom Riders, Who Laughs at Cody, and many more. And for those of you who don't know, Dish Upon a Star is where we talk to some of your favorite stars from your favorite shows and movies. And I am so excited. I cannot wait for you guys to experience what's going to happen today. She's coming up right now. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, thank you so much for doing this with me. I so
Of
appreciate it.
course. Hang on, let me close my closet door.
I mean, we got to do what we got to do.
It's my home office right next to my closet.
I mean, I respect that. I think ever since COVID, we've all kind of turned our homes into that studio for ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of having a choice. How are you doing?
True. Which brings, I am doing well. I mean, I still go to work, so that I think, gets me out of the house at least. So I'm glad to still be working. I am very happy to say that, but at the same time, it's kind of crazy the less I see my friends. I mean, granted, we've had a lot more conversations like on the phone and FaceTime. That has been amazing, like the long conversations we've been able to have.
Yeah.
But at the
I
same time, it feels.
You kind of need
But
the
that brings me to
human
my
interaction.
really, you seriously do. I think that is we need to find a silver lining of what COVID, this pandemic has taught anybody, is to find that we all need human connection. We all need interaction with each other. Because as much as we thrive, and some people can thrive by being by themselves, you do need others. You need a community.
Absolutely.
That brings us to my first question. How have you been adjusting to quarantine life?
A lot of family time. um, my husband is home. My 3-year-old is home. Um, every once in a while, my mother-in-law or my mom come by. That's about it. We kind of don't really leave the house much. I mean, today we went out, got some food, and came right back home, but that's it. I mean, I'm a homebody anyway, so it kind of works, but every once in a while I do like to get out of the house and, you know, just be around other people. I think my
I mean,
son is having it the worst because he's 3 and he
because
just
he's
started
3.
school, right? He's like, "Can I see
Oh,
my friends?" And I'm like, "No."
how about we FaceTime your friends? We'll try that. We'll have a
Yeah,
virtual play date.
it's not the same. He want to run and play, and I mean he's been my a really great workout partner. I tell you that much. Trying to keep up with a toddler that's been quarantined for months without other human interaction. They have a lot of energy, and it's a great trainer.
I'm gonna have to borrow one of my friend's toddlers. That's how I'm gonna have to do it. Like, hey, can I borrow your toddler for a couple hours? You have some me time. I'll bring him
You
back.
know, yes, absolutely.
Now, I am so excited to talk with you. And it's interesting that you say you're more of a homebody because you are known for so many characters who are out there. And I mean, granted, that's actually one of the greatest things about being an actor is being someone other than yourself for a while.
Yeah,
But what inspired you to get into this business?
I've always been fascinated. I'm obsessed with physical comedy and um, just great female comedians. Uh, I love Lucille Ball. As when I was my son's age, that's all I would watch. And my mom would just kind of plop me in front of the TV, and I loved her, and I was like, I want to be in the box, and that's that right there. That's what I'm gonna do. And since then, yeah, that's it. for
I
me at
mean,
least.
Lucille Ball is, I mean, you could find worse people to inspire you than Lucille Ball.
Yeah, yeah. Didn't you claim
And
the
yeah,
best ever? Yes, I'm reading. Sorry. Yes,
no, you're
yes,
good. I mean, please, guys, ask questions. We will definitely get to them. And yes, she did. And we will also be talking about that too, because it's one of my favorite episodes.
all right, all right.
Now, we are living, and I want to say the rebirth of the civil rights movement. And not only
Mhm.
that, we are now calling out Hollywood for all the anti-black and glorifying police. How do you think Hollywood can fix this problem because they created it?
Plain and simple diversity, and not just the token, because that was me for many, many years. Um, and what I mean by that is usually that one token black person. That's what tokenism is. But as far as what I mean by diversity, because hey, some people need an explanation, they need to know. As far as diversity, it doesn't just need to be in front of the camera, it needs to be behind the camera, because then that way you can have that checks and balance, that accountability, that different perspective. Um, that's mainly the best way to fix it, because Hollywood is run by old white men, just like the country, old
I mean,
white men. And if
yeah.
it's just that one narrative all of the time making the decisions, then of course my voice is not going to be heard.
Well, more than 300 people, especially Black artists and executives, signed this petition for exactly that reason.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really hoping that while Hollywood is taking the time not only to make it safe to go back to work for all actors and crew that has to be on set, because we love the business. It's the reason people come to Hollywood or Atlanta or they film in
Yeah,
Canada. We love what we do. I mean, we
exactly.
want to do it safely, but there also needs to be accountability as well.
Exactly. And I think that's the biggest conversation that needs to be had, is having that checks and balance, having that accountability. And once that, I guess, is implemented, then the conversation, then the process of change can be effective, not just the conversation of it. Because there's enough of us that's just talking about it, but actions need to be made. Things need to be implemented. Things need to be put into motion. And once that is actually in motion, then you can see the effects of change and can ripple from there. But this is a good first step, acknowledging that you have a problem
I mean,
and
that's
recognizing
always the
that
first
it's a
step.
problem. That was the biggest first step since the civil rights. Hey, guys, we've got a problem here. Hey, oh wow, I didn't know that
We
was
just
there.
want to be seen as everyone else.
Exactly. Oh my God, you guys have been saying the same thing for how many decades now? Well, okay. Let's not get started, okay?
Because we could have a conversation. But today
We
is
really
about
could have
Miss
a conversation.
Giovonnie, okay? Today is about Miss Giovonnie. And I remember the first time I saw you, but I'm really curious. What do you remember the most about your audition for all that?
Um, which time? Because I auditioned 5 times.
Wow.
Yeah, I auditioned 5 times to be on all that. And when they did it, um, I you had to come up with 3 characters and do a script. So you pretty much it's just like an SNL audition. SNL meaning Saturday Night Live. Just like them, you have to come in with your own material, ready to go, and do it. And I did it, and I didn't do 3 characters, I did 7. I wanted to make sure you knew I was talented and that you needed me and I needed to be on the show.
I
Uh,
mean, before you continue, because I did, she said not, she did 7. That is going above and beyond. And what I love so much about that statement, because I want to let you continue, is the fact that you wanted them to remember you. So no matter what happened, that was the okay. Continue though. Sorry, I had to. But I was like, she said 7.
Yeah, I did 7. So my 3 characters was an old lady, an old church mother that used to pull all kinds of stuff out of her bra, a baby doll that came to life singing funny songs about how terrible her owner is. And then my 3rd character, which ended up being 7, she was a psych patient that had schizophrenia and multiple personalities. So she was Bob Barker from The Price is Right. She was an army in the lieutenant that was in the middle of a war. She was a school bus driver. She was a ballet dancer. She was a chef. She turned into all of these different characters. That's why I said I ended up doing, yeah, I ended up doing like 8 characters
I
just
love
from
that.
that one audition.
That is, first of all, if I would have saw the baby doll like that as a skit, I would have died laughing as a child. I really would have. I would have loved to have seen something like that. No, seriously, that is like the most amazing story ever.
Yeah.
But obviously you still went through the audition process and you got it.
Mm-hmm.
And for
And
me, it
I
was
was the
interesting.
first cast member to be picked out of that season. I was the
Wow.
first one picked.
I mean, come through.
I mean, black girl magic.
Let's be real. I think I have a lot of my favorite sketches that you've done that I actually grew up with watching. And we always talk about representation, about why we need diversity in Hollywood, especially. But for me, being a kid from the Midwest and watching you, first of all, also with natural hair, like that was also something we always have a conversation about, especially in Hollywood, especially, oh, what if they don't like me because I have natural hair and I won't book the job? But you've
Right.
always had natural hair. That is something that I've always noticed about you, and it's never seemed to be a problem. Like for whatever reason, that is a problem for other people. For some, or why they think it's a problem. Let me reclassify that.
Yeah, I don't know. I was always taught to be, love my hair, love the natural me. I grew up extremely Afrocentric. My mom's an artist, and she used to have friends from Morocco and Nigeria and all these other places. And I kid you not, you probably can Google this now. There's a picture of me, one of my elementary school yearbook pictures. I have on a dashiki and a kufi. Like that's how pro-black I was without even knowing that was the thing. So when I decided to get my locks at 7, I was like, this is it. You ain't gonna do my hair no more, mom. This is, this is the way. Like I'm with it. And my locks just became a part of me, and I didn't know anything else. Not knowing that I was the 3rd or 4th person in Nickelodeon history to have locks. It
Oh
was,
well, that
yeah,
Keenan.
Gullah Gullah Island. One of
Oh yeah,
the mom on the show, she had
definitely
natural hair, she had locks. Keenan and
Keenan.
myself.
Oh, and then now Terrence.
Right. Terrence makes 4.
Got you.
But yeah,
Wow,
that is it.
that is some knowledge I'm just getting today. It's like it almost changes like my perspective of my childhood.
Yeah, but you didn't see that anywhere. Nobody
Not
else
really.
had locks on television. Really, everyone had the long, straight hair. I just didn't like it because I was so active. I danced, I did gymnastics, I moved. Ain't nobody got time to be sitting for the pressing curl of that creamy crack. Like I
I
can't do
mean,
perms. Can't do it.
speaking as a person who got perms from 12 until I stopped 5 years ago, yeah, I understand the struggle.
Can't do the creamy crack.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay, but what was your favorite or top 3 like characters that you ever did for all that?
Stacy Chit Chat was so much fun because I got bored with people and I just threw them out the window.
I mean,
Press
that's not a bad talk
boring.
show.
I'm sorry, you're boring. You're irrelevant right now. I have to go. But I would say it was one of my funnest characters because I did some of the craziest things on that. Like, I learned how to milk a goat on this show in the middle of the scene, milking a goat.
Is it like different from milking a cow, or?
No, it's the same thing.
Okay.
I mean, and what's funny, because I learned how to milk a goat on all that, I was able to milk a cow on That's So Raven for Country Cousins. I already knew how to milk. I already knew how to milk.
Like, I came in with my special skills. You ain't gotta worry about me.
It's on my resume. Not that I
Milk
want
the
to be on a
goat.
farm anytime soon. But it's a trade that I know how to do.
No, that's actually not a bad trait. I mean, I think the things that you did from all that have obviously you've taken with you, and you also did the all that reunion where you
Yes.
had Kale, you had Miss Elisa, you had Josh, you had from seasons 1 through the reboot with Miss Gabby. What's it like
Right.
for you? Like, I mean, virtually being with everybody again?
It was really cool. It was kind of like a family reunion slash high school reunion, if I could say, because I grew up on the show. I didn't really have a normal, quote unquote, childhood. So I graduated high school a year and a half early before my class. So I didn't really pay attention to everybody at school because I was already on TV. So when I see,
Because I'm already on TV. I mean, you're
I
not
know
saying
this
them but
sounds
facts, but
terrible,
continue.
but
I mean, it's personally this. I will say this: it's not terrible if it's true. So
right. Right. Okay. I can kind of be okay with that. But anyway, so like my version of a high school reunion is the all that reunion. So we'll check in every 5 or 6 years and do, because the last time we had the big reunion was at Kamikaze in LA, which is kind of like LA's version of Comic-Con.
yeah.
That was the last time we had the reunion. And that was at
And that was
least
about 3-4 years ago.
No, no, you're right. That was like that was almost 5 years ago. Almost 5 years ago. So
That's
that's what
crazy.
I mean by that's the closest thing that I'm gonna get to a high school reunion.
Well, I mean, they have the reboot. So my question is, if you were asked to come back, maybe do a little Stacy chit chat, would you be down?
Yeah, why not? It'd be
See
fun.
what see what she doing now.
I'm just shameless plug. I'll throw it out there.
If you're listening,
I
Kel,
mean,
Keenan, Josh.
it's cool. I mean, they know. Keenan and Kel, they're the executive producers of the show. They see me. They know, hey, how you doing? You got my number.
I mean,
It's all good.
they know.
Shameless plug.
How was it like for you doing the Good Burger pop up?
I didn't go.
Wait, I saw pictures. What do you mean you didn't go?
I didn't go to the Good Burger pop-up. I did the when Kel was traveling around advertising for the reboot for it premiered. Okay. They had a couple of spots in different cities, and I was at the Atlanta one. They had the Good Burger car there, which was a sketch that came from all that. And we did an intro, kind of welcomed everybody to coming out to see Good Burger because they replayed it in the theater. And we kind of introduced everyone and said, hey guys, thanks for coming, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I didn't do the Good Burger actual pop-up in LA because I was here in Atlanta when it happened. I wanted to be there so bad.
No, I feel you. I filled in sometimes for the all that after show that we did. And the whole panel went. So I saw pictures the next day, and I was just like, did nobody think to invite me?
Yeah.
Nobody said nothing to me, right?
Right. It's all right.
Like, I wanted to go to Good Burger. I wasn't going to eat the burger, but I would have gone.
I would have ate the bun.
The fries.
Ketchup. That's eatable.
I mean, it is, and it's a vegetable, so we're good.
It is a vegetable.
Now, what I wanted to talk about is, first of all, we have to celebrate. Because you have two big things that should be honored, I say, this year. We're gonna talk about the first one because Bring It On, All or Nothing, turned 14. And how does that feel when I say that? Yesterday.
That's weird because it doesn't seem like it was 14 years ago. It really doesn't. Man, yeah, that's crazy. And to think when we did that, Rihanna was just coming out, and now she's this mega star. Crazy. Yeah, I don't know. Thank you. We didn't know it was gonna be this big of a thing when it happened. We just did it.
It is one of the favorites. I really like, because people like to skip over the second one and go straight to the third one for some reason.
A lot of people think that mine is the second one because the second one wasn't all that great.
I didn't mind it. I mean, I'll be clear. Me personally, I love the Bring It On franchises ever since the first one. So I've seen every single last one, mostly because my dream was to be in one before they ever decided to not do anymore. That was always a goal.
The last one they did was Christina Milian's, right?
No, they did a new one. It's on Netflix. It's with the girl, she was on Degrassi, and Vivica Fox hosted it virtually as a queen. Because first of all, Vivica Fox, just, you better bring it on. You like fabulous outfits, fabulous hair. Every part of her house that she is filmed in is just amazing, and you're just like, okay, how can I be you? Like, just you. I need to understand. However, I liked that one because it was very, very not millennial, Gen Z more, I should say, and it also featured cheerleaders from around the country, like cheerleaders from Jamaica, Brazil, Texas. They actually did a whole open casting call for cheer squads and put them in the film. It was so cool.
That's cool. Okay, may have to peek that out. All right.
I liked it. Granted, I like Fight to the Finish. I can't sleep on that one. That's still the favorite because you had Prima J in it. That's my favorite. But we're here to talk about some Shibuya love. Like, how many times do people walk up to you when they see you and say, "Can you do Carisha's call for me?"
Every day. Before the pandemic hit, every day. Like, it would take them a second because my hair is different to recognize, but as soon as I smile or laugh or say anything, they're like, "Oh my God!" So people freak out, and I think it's funny. So if you do see me in public and you're not sure it's me, I'm going to mess with you.
At least she warned you.
I'm warning you now. If you see me in public and you're not sure it's me, because I've done this before. I have convinced somebody that we went to school together, and I have never met them a day in my life.
I mean, what I love about life with your actor is the fact that sometimes your skills come in when you need them, when you're required to be there.
Diversion. Here's the funny thing.
Love that.
I'm a terrible liar. You can ask my friends, you can ask my husband. I can't lie. So, like, I can't lie to them because they know me, but I can act to mess with you as a joke and then leave you alone.
I mean, I think that actually is true for a lot of people, but I've always been told, or at least, from, classes or master classes that you see, the thing about acting is you're telling somebody's truth.
Right.
So
Right.
technically is the truth. It's just not
My
me.
truth.
It's just not my
Right.
truth, right?
Right. Because I'm not me right now. I'm Carisha.
Right.
See that? See
Now,
how I did that right there?
come on through. Now, this is my question for you though. When you auditioned, were you a cheerleader before, or did you learn it
No.
as you
I was a
after?
dancer. I was a dancer and a gymnast. So I did gymnastics and I did dance. I'm a classically trained ballet dancer.
Okay.
And I did, you know, Isle Vanelli dance classes and uh, jazz and all tap, all of that. So I'm a trained dancer, but I was not a cheerleader. We didn't have cheerleaders at my school. I was at a performing arts school.
Okay.
So we didn't have a football team. We didn't have sports. We didn't have cheerleaders. It was strictly performing arts. So it was like the Fame School. If you guys ever seen the movie Fame,
Whether
it,
it was the old one or the 2009 one, it counts either way.
it counts either way. That's what my school was. Shout out to School of Creative and Performing Arts in San Diego. Yes, we didn't have, everything was strictly arts. So whether it was visual, singing, um, photography, stage production, that's all that we did. So we didn't have cheerleaders at school. I didn't really like the cheerleaders that went to the school because they would go cheer at another school and they were really snotty. So I was like, I'm good. But it was fun to play here in this movie, at least.
How much of Carisha was Giovonnie, and then how much of Carisha was the script?
Um, I'm gonna give you some insight.
Okay.
85% of the lines that were in the movie I made up. Yeah.
That's crazy and awesome at the same time.
So you want me to cut her was not in the script. Ever. Um, yeah, probably some of the funniest lines that happened in that script that was in the movie was not in the script. I made that up. They let me do whatever I wanted to do. They just let me play and have fun with this character. Now, Carisha is not me. Carisha is a culmination of like 3 people that I know, or 3 people that I have observed and just kind of made this thing.
Creation.
Yes. That's that. So yes, that's how Carisha kind of was birthed.
What is your favorite scene from the movie?
Um, one that I was in or not,
Both.
or just overall. Okay.
Let's do both.
Okay. So I would say some of the dancing scenes, definitely when we were rehearsing on the grass or whatnot. Oh, I thought it went black. I just saw the screen went black and I started to panic. Sorry.
You're good.
So when we were rehearsing, because we had so much fun in between takes, there was so much stuff that we were doing in between, and our energy and it was already there because we knew each other before we did the movie.
Gotcha.
So like Francie and I, we were friends before that. Gary, that's like my brother. Gus was new. Some of the dancers, they already knew each other from other things that they've done together, or somebody else would see somebody else from another dance class. So the energy, or I guess the camaraderie, was already natural. It was there because we were already friends beforehand. So it was like, hey, I'm coming to work to hang out and play. So I think the dancing segments, because that's the only time we all really got together and just kind of goof off. And then the scenes that I was in, I would say the big finale scene, because that was also another time that we got to see the other squad, because we didn't get to see them they kept us separate intentionally. except for cheer camp.
Wow.
I
Cheer
think it
camp
was
was
like,
everybody.
no, even our rehearsals for cheer camp were separate, except for like 2 or 3 days because we had to practice the finale scene together. But past that, that was it. Like they
Wow.
intentionally kept us separate so they can have that kind of like, rivalry or whatever. But it was fun. I miss
And
it.
I know I love watching it. It's seriously one of my favorite things. It will be on MTV next week on
Okay,
Tuesday for
cool.
anybody who wants to, relive the amazingness of Bring It On, All or
Or you
Nothing.
can get it on Amazon. That part.
I mean, or you can do that because I know some people, especially during what we're in. But yes, please rent it. You can stream it on Amazon, iTunes, whatever your heart's desire. It is. I legit probably can memorize half my quotes from that movie. Oh, she has it. I mean, my copy's on my bookcase.
Well, this is actually an autographed copy of myself and Gus. I'm trying to
Oh,
get Gary and a couple of my other squad members to sign it, and I'm going to give it away. But that's
okay.
neither.
For everybody listening, she will be giving away a signed copy of Bringing On All or Nothing. I might be signing up myself. Okay. I mean, I have my own copy, but I don't have an autograph copy. And
And
speaking of freedom riders, because I can't express how much that movie shaped me growing up. It also turns 13 this year.
wow. Okay.
It turned 13. And first, I just want to really talk about how impactful this movie was and still is today, and just how relevant it still is. Well, first of all, what was it about the script that when you read it, you're just like, I need to be a part of this. I want to be a part of this.
Aside from the fact that it was a true story and this was people's lives, I mean, nothing else at that point mattered. It was also the first theatrical thing or non-comedic thing that I was allowed to do because everyone just saw me as a comedian. And I love and thank you, Robert, which was the director of the film, for giving me that opportunity. Because even when we did the audition, he was like, I auditioned for another part, completely different part, where I had to like cry and like really, it was really emotional. And he was like, "Where did you come from?" I said, "I've been hiding under comedy."
I mean,
Yeah.
what part
So,
did you originally go out for?
um, the name was changed, but it was one of the girls who were homeless and her father was like abusing them and everything else.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah. She ended
Brianna.
up being my friend in the movie that convinced me to come to
Yeah.
Miss G's class. But yeah.
I mean, I want to talk about one of the scenes real quick because, especially like we talked about earlier, we kind of in that rebirth of civil rights movement in the sense that we have to remind people we are not the spokespeople for our culture. We just aren't. I'm so sorry if I burst any bubbles today, but there are many people who feel like that, especially when it comes to Black literature. Oh, what is the Black perspective on Color Purple? What is the white perspective on The Color Purple? Why was that not a question?
Yeah. Yeah. Going back to navigating being the token for so long. Um, I really think it's funny because even growing up in school, I wasn't really accepted by the Black people. I was a strange Black girl. Uh,
I mean, personally, that is the best kind of Black girl, but in what ways were you strange?
I was a strange Black girl. I had locks. I liked anime, Japanese anime. I liked different foods. I loved art. I wasn't I wasn't the normal Black girl. I'm not your average
Yeah.
Black girl in every facet of that statement. Even now, I'm a little nerdy. I like you know. So growing up, there was nothing out there that was like me. So I had to be my own being for it to be considered normal. So yeah, one of my best friends was Filipino and Jamaican and white and Korean, and I was different. I was always different. So bringing it back to giving that Black perspective, I was too Black for some people and not Black enough for others.
Yeah, I have one of those stories myself. And I think it's crazy because we, especially as a culture, we have to also remind the culture not one black person is the same.
There
We are
isn't
different.
one monolithic Black experience. It's the best
Definitely.
way to put it. There
I'm gonna
isn't
have to
one
look up that
Black.
word though. I just feel like I just really lost the point, but I really need to look up that word now.
Yeah, that was
And
another thing.
Natalie 98 said that.
Hi, Maddie. I know her. Hi, beautiful.
Thank you guys for joining us. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat and we'll
Yes,
get to
put your
them.
questions in. I'd love to speak to you all. Tell me what's up.
But one of the other scenes I wanted to talk about is when your character wants to obviously transfer from honors
Mm-hmm.
to Miss Gruel's class. I mean, granted, as a viewer, I understand your choice, but obviously you have this confrontation with Miss Umbridge, which is what I call her, because that's the only way I can say it. I know she has a name, but seriously, she is just Miss Umbridge, and that's all I have to keep by keep how I do it.
Okay.
Because you're just like, I mean, I get parts of her and why she is the way she is at the same time. Just like you're so mean, you're just I just don't get it. But the way you, in a way, not shaded, but you
Clap
was
back.
very polite. Thank you. Okay, I was looking for the proper word, but the way you clap back because and you brought up very good points, especially one of the things the movie shows definitely is that people view people of color, or especially low income people of color, a different way than those who are white or who have more means than others.
Mm-hmm.
And the difference is you can see the difference clearly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is what it is, and it even happens within our own. You know, I have been told several times, even by casting directors, that I speak white because I speak proper English. So the fact that I had to really go out of my way to give the quote unquote standard Black girl for Carisha to be acceptable was, on one hand, I'm happy that that was resonated with a lot of people, but on the other hand, I'm sorry that that's the only way that you see me for it to be acceptable in Hollywood or
I
anywhere else for
remember,
that.
true. I remember after the movie came out, I got the DVD and I did all the behind the scenes viewing of it because that's my favorite part to do. And I remember it was just a conversation they were having with the cast.
Mm-hmm.
And what you said still hit me to this day. It's seriously because it was such a true statement and it didn't hit me until you said it. And you said that someone told you that if you want to hide things from minorities, to put them in a book.
Put it in a book. Mm-hmm.
It never hit me hard until you said that because where I'm from, I was weird because I read a lot. I I legit walked around with a book in my hand more times than you would find me not without one in it. And I was weird for that. And that is
Yeah.
crazy to me growing up where I did because I did grow up in a small town in Illinois where, you know, there's only one high school. We're literally a town with only
No
one
sense
high
to me.
school.
That
And
is
it
a
makes
small
no
town.
sense to me. We are small. I love my town. I'm like you from 619, I'm from 618. I love my town so much, but it always felt crazy that so many of my friends didn't want to read or even take the initiative to read. And for me, it was movies like Freedom Writers. It's the reason why I know about the Holocaust. It's the reason why I read The Diary of Anne Frank. It's the
Yeah.
reason why I picked up so many other different books that I could relate to in my own situations.
Yeah. But we're not privy to that knowledge. We're not told that that is an acceptable or something to be praised for. That's just, it's expected of you to be less than. And it's unfortunate that that is the standard, because that's what gets glorified. That's what gets put out there on television. And that's what continues to perpetuate the stereotype. Granted, stereotypes do come from a small part of truth, but it is also exaggerated to the point and distorted. Well, where does that truth begin and the fallacy begins? And so,
Very true.
yeah, I mean,
I
I could
mean,
be, you know,
I
we can talk
mean,
about this all day. Let's talk about some
we
fun
can
stuff.
we can have the conversation like offline, but like 'cause that's a conversation I'm down for always. But guys, if you also want to watch Freedom Writers, you can also purchase it iTunes. You can watch it on Amazon, and eventually it will be back on Amazon Prime, Hulu, and Netflix at different time periods because it fluctuates.
It
But
does.
we need more things like that, especially in this industry. But talk about something fun. We need to talk about your whole Disney Channel guest star appearances that I love so much. First we're gonna start off with the cousins from Miss That's So Raven. It's literally one of my favorites. I mean, obviously, because of you and Kim Whitley and this whole other side of this family that is very different from the city that
The
we see.
Baxters. Mm-hmm.
Because
City
they're in San
Baxter.
Francisco
Country
versus Country Baxters. What was,
Right.
what was it like for you being a part of this show? Because I know you auditioned for That's So Raven before, right?
Mm-hmm. I auditioned for it since it was a pilot. Like, I auditioned pretty much every freaking episode that they had. And I I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I think that it would have been too black if I was her friend, because I originally auditioned for Chelsea's part.
That's crazy. I mean, granted, I would have loved to have seen. I love Annalise. I would have loved to see another black woman care about the environment and maybe even be a vegan. That was something I would not have pictured to see at my age. But I digress. I mean, we're gonna get back to the cousin.
Right, right. So I think it would have just been too pro black if it was just too many of us all there at the same time. So it's cool. But she kept the casting director, Joey Powell, love her to pieces. She pretty much cast everything. It was like 3 or 4 people that would cast all of the Nickelodeon Disney Channel shows. And if they loved you, they just kept calling you in over and over and over again. So for all of my actors out there, please foster positive relationships with casting directors, because that goes a long way in your career. Like, to this day, because of her, that's how I ended up on the movie Harbinger Down. She was the same casting director. I didn't even audition for that part. She just gave it to me because she knew I could handle the part and do it with no problem. So that has happened many times in my career, and I'm very blessed to say that that was the case. But foster positive relationships with casting directors, because it does help. It is so important. Um, so she called me in for it again and was like, okay, this is it. We finally got a good part for you. This is going to be a lot of fun. And it was really refreshing to, I guess, I don't want to say battle comedy chops, but to have that kind of interaction with Raven, because she's hysterical. She's a really funny person. And to have that interaction and to see that on screen, two funny black girls, 2 different spaces in one show, was awesome. And then to have Kim Whitley as my mom, I love her. I still call her auntie to this day. Like, that's my mama. That's my other mama.
I
Nick
mean,
Stash, that's my other mama. Kim
nice.
Whitley, and who else? I'm just putting this out there in the energy. Angela Bassett, please put my mama on a TV show for some kind of reason. I don't know what it is. Just please be my mama. Please be my mama.
Well, I mean, speaking into existence means it has to happen eventually.
It has to happen. I'm just putting it out there. Anybody, somebody hear it.
And not only did you play the cousin on That's a Raven, you also played the niece on Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Yes.
And the sass of Miss Mia is a spirit animal in us all.
Yes. Of course.
But
she had to be. She had to be that. She had to be that extra something, just a little bit more mischievous than Cody, a little bit more smarter than Zach. Like, she just had to be that person.
And she had to be the one to put London in her place.
Yeah, absolutely. My favorite line to this day is still, don't do that. Like, I still do that to people today. Like, don't do that. It's real simple. And then somebody turned it into a meme. So I'm like, I see it all the time randomly. I'm like, oh, hey, that's me. That's weird.
I think my favorite one was the, no, that's Peppermint. Just, like, as calm as you please, man. It was, like, amazing.
Just matter of fact, just, hey, this is what it is.
And what was it like working like opposite Phil Lewis? He's been in this business for
I learned
ever.
so much from him. Phil Lewis is a genius. Like, if you don't understand, especially for camera comedies, because that is a whole different style of acting than it is from single camera comedies. And what I mean by that is all the Nickelodeon, Disney Channel shows, those are usually 4-camera comedies. Modern Family, Blackish, those are single camera comedies. So it's a different kind of style. Phil Lewis is amazing because he was on the Wayans Brothers. And I, as Mr. TC, so.
With the gold tooth. Let's not forget the gold tooth all up in the grill.
So when you see that first episode, after that same scene where I go, ain't that right, Uncle Man? That was my way of paying homage to him for TC from the Wayans Brothers. Like, there's so much little stuff that he taught me. I don't even think he knows that he taught me in that time that I spent with him, because he was just amazing. Yeah.
Well, before we get out of here, we have a little game that I would love to play. It's called Rapid Fire Favorite Things. I just ask you 5 things and you just answer the top of your head. So
Okay.
The first thing is your favorite thing about being an actor.
I get to play so many people. I get to study and understand the why of people. If I wasn't an actor, I'd be in psychology. I actually went to school for sociology. And that is just acting is just another version of understanding people, or reading people for that matter.
I love that. Your favorite memory from all that.
The very first episode that we shot and we did, coming out there, getting ready to do it in front of the live audience, the jitters of it all, and hearing the crowd laugh. That's like the purest moment in the world for me. And I will never forget that for the rest of my life.
Your favorite thing about being a mom.
Ah!
It's so loud. I was like, you did it.
It's so, if you want to see an unfiltered version of yourself, have a kid. That's the best thing that I can tell you, because I immediately see myself in him, and him discovering things for the first time from his perspective helps me see the world in a better light. So seeing him and seeing how he thinks and how he lights up a room and has my same smile and energy and presence, it's like a beautiful thing and a terrifying thing at the same time. Because it's like, I used to do that. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Have you gone to your mom and be like, Mom, I am so sorry for things I did as a child?
I'm like, hey, Mom, you know what? You did your thing, because you didn't just have one. You had three. I just got the one, and I'm done. That's it.
You sound like my sister.
You get a puppy. Like,
oh my gosh. So my sister said the same thing. Oh, and then she got a second one. Your favorite role you've ever played?
That's hard. I can't answer that. They all have a special place in my heart. Like, I can't answer. That's rude. No.
Okay.
I refuse to answer the question.
Okay, well then I'll switch the question for you. Your favorite dream role that you have not done yet that you want to do?
Oh, bet. Okay, here it is. All right. Listen up. I have two. I want to be an action star. I want to do the stunts. I've taken stunt classes. I know how to jump off a building. I know how to do all that stuff. I know how to flip a roll. I just want to karate chop somebody in the neck. I want to double kick somebody right in their chest with both of my feet, like pow, right there. I want to do a sequence like that, like something like that. Like, I want to do that so bad. And then my other role, I want to play a serial killer. Like, something really dark and methodical, because I find them so fascinating to play. Like, my
so Lifetime,
favorite,
call up Giovonnie. She
I'm
wants
just
to
saying,
play a serial killer.
like, woo, you just don't know. Oh my God, it's gonna be amazing. Like, I'm gonna enjoy it a little too much. Like, yes.
And your favorite fan experience?
Gosh, I would say, okay, so I have like three that are my all-time favorites. The very first time that I was ever recognized, I was walking down the street. I was walking down Sunset Boulevard in LA, Sunset La Brea. I was walking to that Bank of America on the corner. So if you're from LA, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
As soon as you said it, I already knew.
Exactly. I was walking to that Bank of America right there on the corner, because we shot Nick on Sunset was right there. It was 65 Sunset. So I was walking.
That's Sunset and Vine, babe, though.
Oh, sorry, Vine. It's Vine. You're right. My bad.
My bad.
Right there. You know what I'm talking about, though. Anyway,
yeah.
I was walking to that Bank of America, and this little white boy out of nowhere screamed out my name. I was so scared because I thought I was in trouble. Giovonnie Samuels. I was like, oh. I turned around, and it was this little white boy came up to me. He was like, "You're Giovonnie Samuels." I was like, "Yeah." Oh my God. Now remember, this was before social media, before YouTube and Instagram and Twitter and all of this. It was way before all of that happened. So for that to happen, I was like, yo, that's a big deal. So I don't know who this little white boy is. And he know my full name. He know my full first and last name. Like, whoa. So that was the very first time I was ever recognized. And then one where this girl, she saw me. I think I was at church. I was visiting a friend of mine's church. She saw me and she started to cry. And I was like, what's wrong? She was like, and I wanted to laugh at her. I'm laughing now. But
you couldn't.
I couldn't. But she was convulsing. Like, she was looked like she was about to have a freaking seizure. Her body was just like trembling so bad. I was like, "Are you okay? Breathe! Like, talk to me! Like, oh my God, I'm a human being! Like, don't do this!" Like,
That is so
it
cute,
was
though.
just kind of weird. Like, yeah. But after a while, she got over it. She calmed down. You know, I gave her a picture, a hug, an autograph. I was like, okay, just please don't do that again. Like, don't don't do that. I have used that line quite a bit in my life.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. And then my last one, I think it was kind of a catch-22. I went out with some new friends who didn't know that I was famous or didn't really believe me that I was famous. And we had to go to an amusement. We went to Knott's Berry Farms. We went to Knott's Berry Farms just on a whim. I think it was like our church group, our youth group was going out or whatever. And I was trying to warn him. We didn't even get in the gate good. I was trying to warn him. I said, look, I'm famous. People are gonna probably like, I'm just gonna, he's like, man, whatever. You just, you Hollywood people, because he was from Jersey. Yes, I'm talking about you, Jersey. His nickname was Jersey, but he was from New Jersey. He was like, man, whatever, you ain't all, you know, well, you ain't. As soon as we got in the gate, rushed up to me. He was asking me for my autograph and everything, and then we had to get security because I couldn't walk around the rest of the park without causing a commotion. After that, he was like, I'll believe you, whatever you say. So
Oh, that is the best story ever. Thank you. I can't express how much it means to me that you joined me and did this with me. It means so much. And guys, you know, you can follow her at Miss Only One Giovonnie because she is also the only one Giovonnie I know.
That's right.
So
That's the only one.
thank you so much. I so appreciate it. And I want you to have a great Sunday.
Yeah, you too. You guys enjoy. Be blessed. See you all. Yay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.